Good morning, students. Today we are going to start our new topic, that is acceleration. What is acceleration? It is basically the rate of change of velocity. What is acceleration? It is the rate of change of velocity, that how frequently the velocity is changing with respect to the time will be considered as an acceleration. So the formula of acceleration can be written as change in velocity upon time taken. Whatever be the amount of change in the velocity that is taken with respect to the time taken, so that will be considered as an acceleration. And we know that velocity is a vector quantity, and if velocity is vector quantity, that means acceleration will also be a vector quantity, and hence it do have both the direction as well as the magnitude. So we can say that acceleration is a vector quantity which do have both direction and magnitude. So what will be the SI unit of acceleration? The SI unit of velocity is meter per second, and divided by, again it will be divided by second, so it will become meter per second square. So, and the dimension formula can be written as LT minus 2, or we can say that M0 LT minus 2. So this will be the dimension formula for the acceleration. Now this acceleration can be positive, or it can be negative, or it can be zero. So acceleration can be positive, negative, or zero. We'll study this positive, negative and zero acceleration with the help of graph. Now comes the average acceleration. It is the ratio of the total change in the velocity of the object to the total time taken. So what is average acceleration? It is the total change in the velocity. Whatever be the amount of velocity is changing, the total change in the velocity of the object to the total time taken, whatever be the amount taken to change the velocity will be considered as the average acceleration. So average acceleration can be written as total change in velocity upon total time. So this thing, total change in velocity, can be written as del v, ऊपर हमने वेक्टर का साइन लगा दिया because it is a vector quantity, so it will be del v upon del t, and this thing can be written as final velocity minus initial velocity upon total time taken. Whatever time has been taken, it will be t2 minus t1. So this is the formula for average acceleration. Now comes the instantaneous acceleration. Now what is instantaneous acceleration? Instantaneous acceleration is the acceleration of an object at a particular instant. Since the acceleration is changing, or for instantaneous acceleration, one condition is mandatory, that it should be a variable acceleration, which shows that there is an uneven change in the velocity with respect to the time. So instantaneous acceleration can be found by when an object is moving with variable acceleration. So what is variable acceleration? It is a non-uniform change in the velocity with respect to the time. Whenever the velocity is changing unequally in equal interval of time, will be considered as a variable acceleration. Then the object possesses different acceleration at different instant. So whenever we need to find out the instantaneous acceleration, that means we need to find the acceleration at a particular instant. Okay, so that acceleration is known as the instantaneous acceleration. So again, where it is as similar as that of instantaneous velocity and speed, in which instantaneous acceleration is equal to limit del t tends to 0 when we'll apply a limit over the average acceleration. This is the formula of average acceleration, and whenever we'll apply a limit of del t tends to 0, this will be considered as an instantaneous acceleration. It is as similar as that we have studied in the instantaneous speed as well as instantaneous velocity. So this thing, limit del t tends to 0, del v upon del t, can be written as dv upon dt. This is the differential of velocity with respect to the time. So instantaneous acceleration can be written as dv upon dt. But we know that v is equal to dx by dt and a is equal to dv by dt. So whenever we'll substitute the value of v dx in this v, then we'll get dv upon dt is equal to d by dt, and in place of v we have substituted dx by dt. So this thing can be written as d square x by dt square, which shows that double differentiation of a displacement with respect to the time. Since this d upon dt is a single term, so ऐसा नहीं होगा कि यहाँ पे d के ऊपर भी square लगाएंगे. It will not be like this, but d upon dt will be a single term. It is just like 15 का square. We cannot do it 1 square and 5 square. So here similarly d by dt का single square होगा d square by dt square. So this thing can be written as d square x by dt square is also known as the instantaneous acceleration. Okay, this is very important thing which will help you in the next topics. Now there are some important notes which are very important from the numerical point of view. if the object move uniform acceleration. So here new word come, uniform acceleration. What is uniform acceleration? Uniform acceleration, when the object is changing its velocity equally in equal interval of time, will be considered as a uniform acceleration. So what is uniform acceleration? It is whenever the object cover equal velocity or change equal velocity in equal interval of time, that acceleration will be considered as a uniform acceleration. And whenever this condition is applicable, at that time instantaneous acceleration, uniform acceleration and average acceleration, all the three acceleration will remain same. And in this case only, average velocity will be equal to u plus v upon 2. We'll just add the two velocities and just divide it by 2, and hence we can find out the average velocity by adding the two velocities and dividing by 2. Okay, now for non-uniform acceleration. What is non-uniform acceleration? Whenever the object changes its velocity unequally in equal interval of time, so that will be considered as a non-uniform acceleration. So in this case, the average acceleration will be equal to a1 t1, that is the initial acceleration into initial time, plus final acceleration into final time, a2 into t2 upon total time, t1 plus t2. So this is the formula for the average acceleration for a non-uniform acceleration. Now comes the position time graph for accelerated motion. These graphs are very important, and there are many graphs which you have to understand. First graph, so this position time graph for accelerated motions means it is a position time graph or displacement time graph, and we need to find out the acceleration, or we are just representing the accelerated motion with the help of xt graph. So this is our first graph in which the displacement is increasing. The displacement is increasing with respect to the time. So whenever you will find this type of graph, we can say that this is a positive acceleration, since the displacement is changing with respect to the time, and this is not a proportionality wala. So यहाँ पे exponential form में increase हो रहा है, that means we can say that it is a positive acceleration. Now comes the negative acceleration. If the graph is coming down, then we can say that this is a negative acceleration, and here it is a zero acceleration because it is constantly increasing with respect to the time. Okay, so this is a zero acceleration, this is a negative acceleration, and this is positive acceleration. Whenever the displacement time graph is increasing or moving upward, it will be considered as a positive acceleration. Whenever the graph is coming down, it will be considered as negative acceleration. And whenever the there is a relation between x and t in a proportional manner, that x is increasing or displacement increasing with respect to the time, so it will be considered as a zero acceleration. So this is all about the position time graph. Now comes one more thing, slope xt graph. Now this is a curvy nature, so whenever we need to find out the instantaneous velocity, we can just find out the slope of this graph. Whenever we will find out the slope of this graph, we can easily find out the instantaneous velocity. So this thing you have to keep in mind, that in a curve, whenever you need to find out the instantaneous velocity in xt graph, you just need to find out the slope of the graph or slope of the curve. Now comes the velocity time graph for accelerated motion. Now these are the position time graph, that the graph has been plotted between position and time. Now here the graph has been plotted between velocity and time. So there is a huge difference between the two types of graph. So you have to understand this graph very carefully. Now first, this is velocity time graph, in which on y-axis we have taken velocity, on x-axis we have taken time. And whenever this type of motion is taking place, or this type of graph have been plotted between v and t, look at here, the velocity is not changing, which shows that there is a zero acceleration. If velocity is not changing, that means the acceleration will be zero. So this will be a zero acceleration with and constant velocity. Here the velocity is constant, so this type of acceleration is considered as a zero acceleration. Next is constant positive acceleration. Since the graph is moving upward, velocity is increasing with respect to the time, so this type of graph will be considered as a positive acceleration with zero initial velocity. Look at the velocity here, it is starting from zero, and hence we can say that the initial velocity is zero. Now this is also a positive acceleration or constant positive acceleration, but it do have some initial velocity u, because it is not starting from zero, so its initial velocity is starting from u, and it do have initial velocity of u. So these are the three graphs. There are more graphs. Okay, now this in this graph again the velocity is increasing in exponential manner, so we can say that the acceleration is increasing and initial velocity is 0. Okay, so this will also be a positive acceleration where the acceleration is continuously increasing and having 0 initial velocity since the graph is starting from 0. Next, constant negative accelerations. This, look at this, it do have some initial velocity at time 0, time t is equal to 0, it do have some initial velocity v, but after certain time t, the velocity will become 0, so which shows that the graph is coming downward, and here it will be a negative acceleration, or it will be a constant negative acceleration with positive initial velocity. This is initial velocity and this is final velocity, and since the graph is coming down, so acceleration will be negative. Okay, now next, here we do have some initial velocity and the graph is coming down, that means it is a negative acceleration. At this point the velocity will become 0, and again the velocity is moving in a negative direction, so it is just like whenever the object is moving in one direction and all of a sudden it takes a U-turn, and hence it will take at some point its velocity will be 0, and after some time the direction of the object will get changed and it is moving in the opposite direction. So this type of graph is just showing कि it do have some initial velocity and showing a negative acceleration because the graph is coming down, and at certain point of time the time will be 0 and the velocity will also be a 0. Look at here, here the velocity will become 0, then after passing that time again the velocity will be in the opposite direction. So this type of graph can be considered as a uniform negative acceleration and positive initial velocity. It do have positive initial velocity and the graph is negative acceleration. Now comes the uniform negative acceleration. Here we do have a negative velocity and the graph is coming down, so it will be a uniform negative acceleration with the initial velocity also negative as well as the final velocity will also be a negative. So these are the graph which are very important to understand. Now one note, velocity and acceleration cannot change value abruptly. We have seen through all the graph there is no point where the velocity and acceleration changes abruptly. So or at an instant. Basically velocity and acceleration are always forming a continuous curve so that they cannot change. ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा कि हम zero velocity पे हैं and all of a sudden हमारी 1 second बाद हमारी velocity 100 हो जाए और instantly हमारी जो velocity वो 100 हो जाए, ऐसा कभी नहीं हो सकता. So this is a very important note. Now comes some kinetic equation of uniformly accelerated motion. Now these are just the equation of motion which we have studied in the previous classes. So first is velocity time relation. This is a graph in which it is a uniformly accelerated motion with some initial velocity u0 or u. So velocity time relation is v is equal to u plus at. This equation of motion you have to memorize, and we need to find out the derivation of these equation of motion with different method, because graphical method you have already learned in class 9th. In class 11th we'll drive this equation with the help of calculus method, that means with the help of differentiation and integration. So position time relation is s is equal to ut plus half at square, and position velocity relation is given by v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So these are the three important equation of motion. Now one more important equation, that is distance traveled by uniformly accelerated body in a nth second. Now whatever the object have covered the distance in nth second, for that we do have one formula, dn, that is distance covered in nth second, will be given by u plus a upon 2n minus 1. So this is also a very important formula which you need to memorize. Okay, so these are all about the equation of motion. Now this is very important question. It is given in the form of example in your book. But the derivation which we are using in this question is very important, and maximum time we used to ask this question in the exams. So obtain equation of motion for constant acceleration using method of calculus. That means we need to derive the equation of motion with the help of calculus method. So our first equation is v is equal to u plus at. Before deriving these equations, you need to revise the formulas of differentiation and integration, because without that you cannot derive these identities. So we know that first is v is equal to u plus at, and this is a velocity and velocity time relation. So we know that a is equal to dv upon dt. Okay, this we have studied in the instantaneous acceleration, in which acceleration is equal to rate of change of velocity with respect to the time. So here will dt will take this side and it will become a dt is equal to dv, क्योंकि dv यहाँ पे सिंगल रह जाएगा. Now what we'll do, we'll integrate both the side with limit. So with, we can mention it with limit. तो यहाँ पर a dt and here it will be dv, and both the terms will be integrated since we have to integrate dt. So the limit will be from time 0 to time t, and dv will be initial velocity from initial, limit will be from initial velocity to the final velocity v. So after, since we cannot integrate a with respect to t, तो हम a को बाहर निकालेंगे and we'll get dt, integration of dt. But here we'll just integrate dv, and the integration of dv or integration of dx will be considered as x. So this is the formula which we have used. So integration of dv will be v, and we'll just substitute the limit initial velocity and final velocity. Here also dt, the integration of dt will be t, and the limit will be 0 to t. Then what we'll do, we'll just substitute the limits by upper limit minus lower limit in place of t. So the upper limit is t and lower limit is 0. So it will be a t minus 0, and here it will be upper limit v or up minus lower limit u. So it will be v minus u, and it will be at is equal to v minus u, and hence we can say that v minus u is equal to at. This is the first equation which we have derived by the help of calculus method. Now comes the second equation of motion. Second equation of motion is s is equal to ut plus half at square. But we know that v is equal to dx by dt. This you have to remember, that v is equal to dx by dt, or instantaneous velocity is given by differential of displacement with respect to the time. Again we'll do the same thing. We'll take dt this side and it will become v dt, and dx will remain all alone. Again we'll integrate both the side. Here we have integrated, and since we have to integrate with respect to the distance, so distance we have taken from 0 to final distance s, whatever may be the distance, and we cannot integrate v with respect to dt, so we'll take v out, and the limits will be from 0 to t. And in place of v we can substitute, here you have to remember one thing, in place of v we can substitute u plus at. Okay, because from equation first we know that v is equal to u plus at, so we have just substituted the value of v, that is equal to u plus at. Now comes the integrative part, that in place of x we'll just substitute the value upper limit minus lower limit, and hence it will become s minus 0, and we'll integrate u with respect to dt, and hence we'll get u को बाहर निकालेंगे, और इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ dt अभी हम पहले जैसे किया है, इंटीग्रेट ये u बाहर आ गया, and integration of dt will be t. So it will be like this, u t upper limit upon lower upper limit and lower limit. Look at here. So now we'll integrate by part. U, we need to integrate u, and then after that we have to integrate at also. तो यहाँ पे a को integrate नहीं कर सकते with respect to dt, so we will take this a out of this integration like this, and we'll integrate t, and the integration of t, यहाँ पे formula हमने use किया है, that integration of x with respect to dx can be written as x to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So here the power is 1, so it will be t to the power 1 plus 1, that is t square, upon 1 plus 1, that is 2. So like this way we need to integrate the equation. After that we'll just substitute upper limit minus lower limit, u t minus 0 and half t square minus 0 square. So it will become s is equal to ut plus half at square. So this is the second equation of motion. Now comes the third equation of motion, and the third equation of motion is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. For this we know that a is equal to dv by dt, that is instantaneous acceleration is equal to rate of change of velocity with respect to the time. But here in this relation we don't have distance, so we need to bring the distance. So how we can do that? We will just multiply and divide it by dx, so it will become dv upon dx into dx upon dt. इसी को हमने क्या किया, dx, इसमें dx का इंटू कर दिया and dx का डिवाइड कर दिया. So this equation can be written as dv upon dx into dx upon dt, but dx upon dt is v, so we'll just write that a is equal to v dv upon dx. This equation will become a v dv upon dx, and dx will take this side and it will be a dx is equal to v dv. Now integrate both the side. Again we'll do the same thing as we have done in the previous two derivations, that a we cannot integrate a with respect to dx, so a को बाहर निकालेंगे और अंदर क्या बचेगा, कुछ भी नहीं, and we need to integrate this dx, so integration of dx will be x and the limits will be s and lower limit will be 0. So we'll just substitute the value as minus 0 and it will become as, and when we'll come this side, integration of v with respect to dv can be written as v square upon 2, since we have used this formula x is equal integration of x is equal to x square upon 2. तो यहाँ पर क्या आ जाएगा हमारे पास v square upon 2 and the limits are v and u, and when we'll substitute this value v and u in place of v, we'll get v square upon 2 minus u square upon 2. We'll take 2 common, यहाँ पे हमने 2 कॉमन लिया और 2 कॉमन लेने के बाद इधर पहुँचा दिया, देन इट विल बिकम 2as, यहाँ पे as तो ऑलरेडी था, देन दिस 2 will also come this side and it will become 2as is equal to v square minus u square, and hence we'll get v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So these are the 3 equation of motion. In case you find any sort of difficulty, then you can just mention in the comment. If you then I'll prepare one more video on the basis of this. Thank you.